your knowledge of what HTML is, what, how are you going to implement this? If I say you should go ahead and do this, how will you do it? Now, you need to explain your code first. So, first of all, what you need to do is know that every of your elements here they are inside one container. Does everybody get what I just said? Every of your elements here are inside one container. And what's the container? The whole full body here. Now, the container now has another container or another box, like he said, which is now going to have this one of what? Tip calculator. So that means in your body, how many divs do you have? How many sections do you have? 2. So in your body, you have 1, and another section will be nested inside of what? That particular section. It is now. Now, in that new nested section, that's when you're going to have your properties. That this is how you can work on things like this. So first things first, this is what I am going to do. So in my body, I'm going to have dot container, just like container, which is going to have my div, right? And then inside of that div, I'm going to have another div that says what? Main, which is where the major things are going to go into. You understand? Now, in this main, now looking at it, what do we have here now? We have the main has tip calculator. It has view that has a form input. It has a rate that has a select option. It has a button, and then you have tip amount and total amount. What does this mean? This means that in this place you have 3 major sections, or you can say you have, yeah, you actually have 2 major sections. You have your tip calculator, which is going to be the title. You have, and all of these things, which is going to be what? The inputs. You understand? So I can go ahead and I can come here. I can say, first of all, I'm going to have dot title of div. Then I'm going to have another house of dot. So let's call this content. Now, in this place that has title, I'm going to give it an H3 that's going to say what? Tip calculator. Huh? Oh, I'm using an extension that auto wraps my class name because I use Tailwind and Tailwind is very messy, so I have to like wrap it up. So let me just disable the extension. You auto close or auto open. I'm trying to check it out. Sorry. I can't find it. Well, let's just continue. But the class is there. This is the class here, title. This is the class here. The class here is how is it not showing? Class here is container. You understand? So we have container and then we have class. Now we're going to continue and then we are going to give them. Now looking at this place now. Now we've given the title, which is what? Tip calculator. The next one is what? The bill rate and then the tip amount. That's the main content, isn't it? Nobody's following. Link. Why? It's the same link I said. Check it again. Or use another network. You understand? Like it's same link. Check it out on my end. Who else has tried? Today is Wednesday now. See, I'm seeing my okay. I'm seeing my screen now. All right, so let's continue. Now, what do we have here? We have your title, and then you have what the contents here, and that's exactly what I just the structure I created in my HTML. I have my title right here, which is the tip calculator right here, and then I have my what my content, which is this div. Now in this content, I'm going to have two different divs again, right? And the first div is going to have your what? Your view rate, right? While the second is going to have your what? Your result. Those are the two things that you want to have. First as your view rate, second as your result. So how are you going to do that? You go ahead and you're going to like write stuff. So you have the view rate. Then I'm going to have another line. I can have the result in now. If you check it out now, we have a structured. We are kind of have a structured. Can you see it now? Now we have a structured HTML. We have a structured HTML. So now if you come here and you check it out, you have view, and then you have what? What's the name? What's the name of this thing? Of this? No. What's the name of this element? Input. So you have your view, and then you have your input. Then you have your rate, and what's the name of this element? Select an option. Now I'm going to create that. Now those two are going to be in separate divs also. Yeah. This is content. This one. This one. This is title. Title. Then you have your what content. Then instead of content, you have view rate and result. So I'm going to let me just remove this thing so that you know, okay, I've seen it. All right, so let's hope it works now. It should be working now because I've disabled it. I've actually disabled it, but it's not working. All right, let's just continue. It should work by itself very soon. So what am I saying? We have what view rate, and then we have results here. So right here, I'm going to create input fields for view and select option for what? For rate. So I'm going to say label for view. Okay, so let's just write. Let me just use this. Then we're going to have input type of number, and then we're going to have enter field amount. Now we have label for view, 4 equals view. Then we have what field amount. Then we have label ID of what view. Now I think we talked about label before, didn't we? There was even a particular time when I showed you how to use input file, right? Input of file, and then you can tie it to your label. Do you remember? Do you remember input of file? Are you sure? I did not tell you, you don't remember. That I said input. Come in. Said input, and then you have what? File. That you can upload pictures with files. Okay. So there is another input field called input that has a type of file. I told you a lot of types. I told you check. I told you radio button. I told you password. I told you file. I told you a lot of these things. I told you submit also. I don't. Yeah, I told you should read on that. Then I actually gave you, I think I gave you submit. Like, yeah. So now, this type of file, you can use it to upload pictures. Now, I'm not going to talk about file yet, but I want to explain something now. You have this particular attribute that says for view. Now, basically, what this thing is saying that this particular label is for this input with an ID of view. You understand? So wherever you see ID of view, it was automatically tied to what this particular label. That's what this for is talking about. But you don't really need to worry much about it. Now we've actually gotten the label for view, and then we've gotten what the input for view also. So if you check it out now, so let's go live also, and let's check what we have out. So if you also check this out, you should have this. So you have T calculator, and then you have bill amount, enter bill amount. You understand? That's basically how we can. Now, the type here, I don't want the type to be number. I want the type to still be text. I'm going to tell you why it's text. Because I want to have more functionality. If it is just number, then I've cut down my functionality. I want to show you how you can manipulate things in JavaScript. So now we have this particular. Now we are going to move on to the next one, which is going to be your result. Now your result is going to take in two things. The first one is going to be what? So your first result is going to take in tip amount and what total amount. Everybody's here. It's going to take in tip amount and total amount. So we're just going to say amount. So that's your result. So we're going to say dot tip, and then we're going to have dot total. Just write TOT. Now tip is not going to have so let's add okay, I should not even be here yet. Let's move on to rate. I've not created rate. I've not created rate yet. Now, this particular rate there, let's look at this place. Looking at this place now, what did you have here? What do you have here? In the rate. Just tell me what you see. Select option, right? Then how many options do you have? The first is what? Excellent. Second is what is fair. So you have 15%, 10%, and 5% for each of them, respectively. Now, that means you have to have a select option as your rate, isn't it? So having a select option as your rate, you're going to go ahead and come to your code and create a select option. So we're going to have dot rate, right? And in dot rate, you're going to have what? Select. Then how many options do you have? 3 options, right? Isn't it? What's the first option? First option is, so we're going to have option of what? Let's say excellent, right? So we're going to have excellent. I'm going to duplicate this. So we're going to have excellent. We're going to have fair. Yeah? Okay, good. And then we're going to have fair or average. Let's just fair. Now I'm going to put, so if it is excellent, I'm going to be giving them 15%. Just put 15 here. 15%. If it is good, I'm going to be giving them 10%. Right? So you can just put it here. Then if it is what? If it is fair, it's going to be 5% tip. Now those are what we're going to be doing. So first is what? Excellent, 15%. So now if you go ahead and you check out what we're doing now, you have what? Excellent, good, and fair. You understand? No, excellent is one. But the first one is excellent, so it is selected excellent. We need to stop this. How do we do this? Done it before. We need to make sure that what is being selected is not excellent. What is being selected, what you should be seeing here should be what? Select an option, right? But that select an option, you should not be able to select it. So how exactly are we going to work? How are we going to implement this? Okay, good. You are going to be telling me. On that option, where am I pressing it? So I'm going to have option, right? Or is it this one? Eh? It's there now. So select an option. Things that the expo already showed. So they already showed. That's why I have to disable my copilot. All right. So you have to select an option. Now, how if you come back here now, you are still going to be able to select it. So now, how will I disable it? That's my question. How exactly will I disable it? For those that saw the expo, do not fall my hand now. Tell me what you saw. You saw the expo. Oh, you don't see it now. Wizard. How do you disable it? Should we say you saw it? Everybody heard your voice when you say you saw it. So how do you disable it? Stabilizer, how do you disable it? Okay. Why do you know that entire? Why disable the entire when you just want your own to disable? The way you disable the entire thing, yeah, this is to disable this one. Just one. You can check who is free. Check it. I'm not hearing your voice, man. I'm not hearing your voice, man. How do you disable it? Hmm. I think I'll start saying until you answer my question. I will not go to the next thing. How do you disable this? Mr. Chris. Okay, you've seen it now. You've seen it. Okay, continue. Yeah, tell me. Okay. Disable selected value. Will I turn it to this one? I'm separating it. Are you sure? This. Are you sure? Disable like this. There's the. Okay. All right. Disable and selected. Now, disable will make sure that users will be able to select it. And selected is going to make sure that that particular value is automatically selected upon user entering what their particular application. You understand? That's what this attribute is going to do for you. So you have a disabled and you have a selected. Now, how are you going to do that? So if you come here and you refresh, you should have a select an option. As you can see, I cannot select it. It's disabled, but I can select other options. Do you understand it now? So that is that. Now, we're also going to have, we should have a label for this select button. So how are we going to have a label for it? Come up here and create a label for it. So we're going to have a label, and this particular label is going to have, so let's say tip rate. Then I'm going to give it a 4 of rate, and then I'm going to give this an ID of rate. Thank you. An ID of rate. All right, good. So now, if we go ahead and check this out, we should have what? Tip rate, then you have the select option here now. So excellent, good, fair. Is it fair? Yeah? Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So now we've been able to get it up to this place. The next thing is to create a calculate button. So I'm going to come down here. The calculate button is still going to be inside of this D. So it's still going to be inside of the D. So we have this, that, this, and then we are going to have a calculate content. Yeah. Sorry? I think we still need to like do something else. So yes, we know that they are all going to be in the same D, but then we need to separate this one right here and this one. There's been two separate Ds, right? So I just checked it out and I saw that they were only in one D. So both the what's the name? Both the view rate, the rate, and all of the results, they are all in one D. So it's not seen as three separate Ds. So we need to put them in one D, and to do that, I'm going to carry this particular view and rate. I'm going to put them in one D. I'm going to control X, and then I'm going to say dot view rate. I think I've done that before. Okay. Ahead, I was supposed to do this, but it didn't work. Probably did not work. Uh, yeah. What did you say? Okay, before because of this thing, let me just uh, start because I think it should be the extension that I'm using. So I'm just going to open new window again. It's the extension I'm using, so hopefully it doesn't interfere again this time around. Yeah, so it is working well now. Looking at it now, this is what I'm saying. In this particular structure, you have the whole container. You have the whole container, right? Where all of your codes are into. That's all of your application is inside. That's the whole container. Now, in that particular container, you have another one, which now has the main functionalities. Do you get? Now, the reason why I'm giving this container so that I can now put that particular main in the middle with CSS. So what am I saying? Looking at this place now, right? You see that you have the whole application. But then there's one, the major application is what? Is all centralized in the middle. That's your main. But the old is the what? Is the container. Do you get it now? That's the container that has this blue background. Is it clear? Now, that's the first thing. Second thing now is that we need to also give it, we need to also give it, we need to also structure that main container, that main element. So this is the main element, isn't it? Now, instead of the main element, looking at it, just look at the main element. What you have? You have the title, first thing, and after the title, you now have what? The contents right here. Is everybody following this? You have the title, and then you have the content. Now, instead of the content that you now have two separate divs again. The first one is the what? The bill and the rate that has this calculate button. And then the second one is what? The tip amount. Is it clear to you now? So that's exactly what I'm trying. So if you come right here, you're going to see it. So right here now, what do you have? You have your main. Now you have your title, which is the first. Then you have your content, which has both the bill rate and then what's the result. Now see the bill rate. The bill rate has both the bill and the rate, and then the result is the tip amount and the total. Is it clear to you now? That's basically what I did. Is it clear? Is it clear to everybody now? Is it clear? If it's not clear, let me know. Because it's not clear. All right. So that is inside of the content, you have two divs. First is what the bill and the rate. Second is what the tip amount and the total amount. Now, it's just this is what I'm saying. You know, I explained D to us before. You have this is all the content. Look at this. This is all the content. Instead of the content, you have two major things here. So this one and this one, they are in one. This is what your bill rate. This one and this one, they are also in one, which was your tip amount and your tip and your total amount. That's your result. Now all of them are now inside what? Content. Because again, you have the container. Instead of the container, you have the name. Instead of the name, you have your title and then your content. Instead of the content, you have two. Bill rate and then what? Total amount. It's clear to now. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. Let's move on. So now we've been able to establish that. So now moving on, we are going to talk about the calculate button. So now what will the calculate button now be? It's going to be inside of the view rate. So we're going to have a button right here. I'm going to say button, and I'm going to call it calculate. Yeah, I'm going to call it calculate. Now, we're almost done with the what's the name? With HTML. The only thing left is that in our tip amount, I'm not going to come here and call it, I'm going to give it a p tag, and the p tag, I'm going to say tip amount, or let me give you a span tag instead. I'm going to say span, I'm going to say tip. Then in the total, I'm going to call it what? Give it a span also, that says what? Total amount. You understand? So it depends on what you want to calculate in. Is it in dollars, or is it in naira, is it in, depends on what you want. So now if I refresh, oh, I've forgotten that I started. All right. So now what do we have? We have everything that we need. The only difference that we know is styling and not. It's time to start styling. So yeah, I'm going to pause here now for everybody so that you can go ahead and write this code. Now, if you have any question, you can ask me now and let me know what you don't understand so far.